Hello there, Darin Steen here with your nutrition section of your Fat Loss Lifestyle Video Exercise Library. You've heard a lot of comments out there by fitness professionals about how important nutrition is. Some say it's 70% of your fitness fat loss game. They say abs are made in the kitchen. They say you can't work yourself out of a bad diet. I think it's really true. If I could focus on one area out of all the areas that are important in this body transformation system, it would be the nutrition is the most important. You have to focus on a few basic things. You got to clear your confusion. It's not that difficult, and my goal here in this little short video is to give you a really nice base to go forward. I'm going to throw out a bunch of stuff out there. Hopefully it's stuff that you've heard before. I'm just going to reinforce some things that you've heard, try to take away some of the other things that are misinformation for you. And that is, let's just start with what I think the number one weapon in your nutrition holster is, and that's carb cycling. So with our Fat Loss Lifestyle program, we got our workout sheets in the exercise library section. You need to do your interval cardio first thing in the morning, 2 or 3 days a week on opposite days that you train resistance. Do them separately because the key here is carb cycling, and that is throwing in starchy carbs on the days that you train intensely with weights when you need the energy, and you need the energy to recover from the intense weight training workouts where you tore your muscles down. And the starchy carbs are carbs you typically think that you should stay away from. Brown rice, wild rice, whole grain bread, dark rye pumpernickel, oatmeal, yams, sweet potatoes, maybe a red potato, bananas. Those are all starchy carbs. You want to throw those in the middle of the day and right after the intense workout on resistance workout days. Right after the workout is a nice window, and then also in the middle of the day. Don't throw in too many starchy carbs first meal and last meal. Okay, you need to boost your metabolism by getting up and getting active. Kick butt workout somewhere in the middle of the day, beginning of the day, doesn't matter. But those are the rules of thumb for throwing in starchy carbs. Okay, now on days you don't train at all or days that you do intense interval cardio, as our exercise video library interval cardio section will show you how to do, you want to do it first thing in the morning. 2 reasons why is, for one, you get it done and excuses don't come up. And number 2, you're in the fat burning mode because you haven't had the starchy carbs for about 8 to 10 hours. So you set that interval cardio session up by being in the fat burning mode by eating no carbs with your last snack of the night, and you have probably no starchy carbs in your 6 o'clock typical dinner type, so just fibers, vegetables, and green beans. So therefore, when you wake up the next morning, you're in the fat burning mode. It's a great strategy. Okay, so you want to stay away from the starchy carbs on those days, cardio days and non-activity days, and you want to make sure you combine protein and carbs together, but you stick with just the fibrous vegetables, green beans, and salads carbs for those days. That's carb cycling in a nutshell. It will absolutely boost your fat burning metabolism into the atmosphere that it's never been before. It's very simple. Now, how much protein? Now, we need to back up and say we need to eat unprocessed foods that don't come in boxes and containers. If it rots, it's good for you. For the most part, we want to try to go organic. In some areas, typically the protein, the eggs, and the meat, try to go organic. I know most people can't afford it, or they think they can't afford to eat organic all the way through the day. But it's definitely worth it. You want to stay away from foods that come out of a box and wrappings so that they have a longer shelf life, because then it'll make your shelf life shorter. Real important. And how much protein? Let's make it really simple. 125 to 130 pounds or less, 15 to 20 grams in each meal every time you eat. 150 to 160 pound person, average size. Let's take it up to 30, maybe 35 grams of protein in each meal. And then the bigger boys, 185 to 195, 200, maybe 40 grams of protein in each meal. 220 pounds, working out intensely, maybe 45 to 50 at the very most in every meal. You want to eat every 3 hours, 3.5 hours at the very most. So, you know, I don't really like to count calories or count grams of protein and carbs for the whole day. I like to count it for each meal. Okay, I hope that really helps you. There's a lot of things I threw out there. It's unbelievable how effective this system is when you combine good, healthy nutrition strategies with carb cycling, holding the starchy carbs out on on interval cardio days and non-activity days. Do some food logs, writing down what you're eating. Even if you don't give it to a health professional or a fitness professional, it's going to make you eat better. Food logs are amazing. If you got a trainer or a training partner, give them the food logs, let them analyze them, and give their feedback. Now, hunger levels are very important. The higher your hunger level is before you eat each meal, we typically go 1 to 5. 1 not hungry at all, 3 in the middle, 5 ravenous, very hungry. That's what you want. The higher the hunger levels, the better. As you boost your metabolism with our fat loss lifestyle program, you're going to feel hungrier. That's very, very good sign. As long as you eat every 3 hours and you're combining the protein and carbs together and you're cycling the starchy carbs in to your nutrition in the middle of the day and right after that intense workout on resistance training days, and you cycle them out on the other days. Post-workout meal, very important. I got a pretty famous video that's on YouTube for fat loss, or Google search fat loss, but in a nutshell, if your metabolism is rubbed up super fast and you're around a hunger level 5 all the time, then that means you want to wait hardly no time at all. Throw in some fast-release protein, which is whey protein, and fast-release carbs, high glycemic carbs. White piece of white bread, maybe a banana or 2. That's a great post-workout meal. If your hunger level is around 3 all the time, that means your metabolism is in the middle. That means you want to wait a half hour after that intense resistance training session before you throw in that same post-workout meal. If you're sort of maybe real obese or heavy and your hunger levels aren't really that high at all, that means your metabolism isn't high enough yet, so wait a good hour after that resistance session. On interval cardio for fat burning purposes, ride the fat burning wave and wait a full hour, unless you're an ectomorph and your metabolism is flying, then you can throw it in about a half hour afterwards. That's it. That's a lot of my fat loss lifestyle nutrition tips. I hope a lot of it resonated with you and you've heard it before. It's absolutely the gospel in our program, and now you have the power to change and limit your information. Use that basic nutrition information I just threw out at you, and use the food logs, and I guarantee you that you will get the most bang for your buck with our exercise library. All right, there you go. Darin Steen, Fat Loss Lifestyle, telling you you do absolutely have the power to change, and now you got the tools. Go make it happen.